Da-da-da-da-da-da. And we've got secondage. We are live.
Oh, jolly good. Hello, folks. This is Angie speaking to you from where am I? Playa del Rey, yes.
Home.
Home, America, yeah.
With my wellies in the background.
Oh, yes. They're not Sandro Monetti's wellies, are they?
No, they're not posh enough. They're not blingy enough.
Oh, no, of course. He's got sort of designer wellies.
Hello, David. Hello,
Hello,
Stephanie.
David.
Hello, Robert. How you doing?
Gosh, you're quick. Hello,
Yes.
chaps. You got up early or late, or it depends on where you are.
Exactly.
Anyway, I have to switch my little notes on because, you know, I'm an older person. I forget what I'm going to talk about.
What have you got? Have you got your password?
Well, yeah, I just hope you've all had a good week and you're not, you've calmed down after the Super Bowl if you're here in America.
What a boring game that was.
Oh, well, I only watched the commercials and the halftime show. Least said, soonest mended. I think, yes, never
Carry
mind.
on.
There'll always be next year.
But you are wearing maroon today, you see.
Oh, it's not. It's only a 4 though.
Yeah, but when you take your shirt off, you've got the California tattoo on your belly,
yes, yeah. Oh God, I've got the map of the world tattooed on my belly.
Twice.
Oh, thank you, Ruth. I can always rely on my lovely daughter to be so nice.
Hello, John Peel.
Oh, hello.
All right, so.
Yeah, John, it's time you ordered some more tea. But anyway, listen, I hope none of you folks stateside have suffered too much with the weather because it's been fairly disastrous. We're very lucky here. We've only had some rainstorms and thunderstorms and lightning. And a couple of days ago, there was a plane that had to turn back because it was struck by lightning. But that must have been exciting. Imagine being the flight crew on that plane.
Yeah, no,
We're going back because we've been struck by lightning. Oh, no, I don't
very
think so.
frightening bee, Galileo. Never mind.
Oh dear, oh dear. It's
I'm singing, and it's not even noon.
I know she hasn't
Don't.
even.
They'll take it down.
We might get closed down by the authorities, yes. But the Grammys are this week, and you know, all the stars are coming into town hoping for their 10 minutes of fame, or is it 5 minutes, whatever.
I think it's 3.5 if it's an MP3, isn't it?
Oh, probably, yeah. And we have been invited to a Grammys party at one of the big studios in Hollywood. I won't tell you where it is or when, because I know you'll all try and gate crash. It's been done before. Gate crashes, or yes.
Well, I love that phrase, gate crashes. You don't hear that.
Yeah, well, probably if they had a gate, you would run up to him.
I would
Crash
imagine.
it.
I would imagine.
Hence, gate crashes. You'll learn it all here. So educational. Discovery Channel's crying out for me. But they have to wait. But there is a trend here for events to be held in palatial mansions that are on the market but haven't been sold. And they sort of rent them out to people who want to have events. In fact, there was one last Friday night for our friends Sensi Magazine, my cannabis-related people. It was at a beautiful mansion in the Hollywood Hills. Mind you, it's on the market for 5.9. Well, hello, I'll say that again. For 5.1 million. Hovel, yeah.
Council, clearly a council house.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, they have this was a beautiful place. Gorgeous views over the valley at night, and an outdoor patio and swimming pool. But they cover up a lot of the floors with all kinds of like cardboard and canvas stuff and tape it off. And there are lots of rooms you can't go in because, of course, you know, when people come to these events, they get looped or high or whatever it is they do. And, you know, they don't want them to damage the place. Anyway, this is all very boring, isn't it?
Well, it's not quite as boring as the Super Bowl, but you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah, I might get the Boring Actress of the Year award. So I'm reminded, by the way, that last week it was 50 years since the Beatles played their last show on the roof.
Yes.
And 5 years since I was there in Liverpool to launch my book. But that's another story.
Book 1. And book 2 is coming soon.
Book 2 coming soon. And speaking of the Beatles, my guest today, who was Sandro Monetti, brought me this lovely little fridge magnet of one Paul McCartney, who used to be in a band called Wings,
Yes.
and another band called The Beatles.
It is anatomically correct because it's left-handed.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
There you go.
Anyway, listen, I'm more than delighted to have as my guest today the lovely Sandro Monetti.
Jolly good.
Talented.
Yay, drum roll, please.
Yay.
Drum roll. Da-da-da-da-da.
Hello, darling.
Hello, here she is, the titan of tea, the babe of broadcasting, the legend of Liverpool. Such an honour to be on with you, Angie.
Oh, thank you. I'll give you the check later.
She'll pay you in tea.
Yeah, I'll pay you in tea. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, lovely, lovely. You've just had your tea, so shut the fuck up. Oh,
Oh dear,
I just said,
goodness me.
oh dear, bleep.
I would
should
like
have-
to apologise.
Yes,
Have we been taken down? Yes. Yeah.
Nothing's been taken down for a long time, I can assure you. Anyway, come on, Sandro.
Yes.
So thanks out for carving out a little bit of your precious time today. I know what a mogul you are.
I'm fueled by enthusiasm, and few things get me more enthusiastic than an invite from you. So thank you very much for having me on the
bless you.
show, and congratulations on your
Okay.
more than 40 episodes of this window
yeah,
on
that's
the world.
right, yeah. So listen, tell us about your Doctor Who event on the 17th.
You know, you mentioned the Beatles there, but there is another British iconic brand that has entertained the world for more than 50 years, and that, of course, is sci-fi show Doctor Who, which started on November the 22nd, 1963,
Really?
the day of the Kennedy assassination, and all these years later, still entertaining the world. But a debate has raged among fans for ages. Who is the best ever Doctor Who? So I have set up this live debate taking place Sunday, the 17th of February in Los Angeles at Arena Cine Lounge. And the idea is we're going to get experts from the show, we're going to get fans, we're going to get stars on to have a huge verbal punch-up. And then the audience in the room will vote, you know, from everyone from William Hartnell to Jodie Whittaker, who is the best Doctor Who.
That should be fabulous.
So it's a verbal punch-up. It's like any given Friday in a pub in Liverpool.
Pretty much, yeah. And I thought I've invented a new concept in entertainment, because the debates is something I used to do at school and college and really enjoyed it. But no one was doing this in entertainment. So before we've had Who's the Best James Bond, Sean Connery won that one. And then we've had Who's the Best Star Trek Captain, Patrick Stewart, who I don't impersonate, won that one. But who will be Who's the Best Doctor Who? So arenascreen.com, February 17th.
Jolly good, so be there.
Can I vote now, John Pertwee?
Well, John Pertwee is a very interesting one. John Pertwee
Yes.
reinvented the programme because it was very much a kid's show when it
that's
started. And John Pertwee was very much sort of the action man, James Bond, and then teenagers and adults started watching it.
I see.
And so the ratings went huge, and John Pertwee was a very pivotal figure in the history of Doctor Who, because he made Doctor Who for everybody, and that's what it continues to be.
Oh, I see.
You know?
Wonderful.
And when I went to school in Haswell, an insult was, "Oh, you're such a TARDIS."
Yeah.
Well, do you know, if I had a TARDIS, time and relative dimension in space, which is the Doctor Who's time machine, I would go back to my hometown of Blackpool and see the Beatles play there in 1965.
Oh, golly, yeah. That was
because
a good night.
I've got the picture of them in front of the Blackpool Tower,
Yeah.
and I'm just so jealous of anyone who got to see that show, and it would
Did
be
your
great
mum,
to.
by any chance?
She did, yes.
Did she really?
Indeed,
Yeah.
she did.
She still lives in Blackpool?
She does. She loves the Beatles. She loves Blackpool, as do I. Hi, Mum. Yeah.
Hello, Mum. Yeah. Oh, I love Blackpool.
She
too.
says you couldn't hear anything. All you could hear was
Yeah,
screaming.
screaming,
She's like, I
exactly.
couldn't
I
tell you
know.
what songs
No, I
were
know.
sung or anything.
Yeah.
It was just total bedlam.
I know.
Her ears have
I'm
been bleeding
yeah.
ever since.
Did you go to see Paul, the premiere of Paul's new?
Yeah, I did. Paul has got a new short film, long form video
Yes.
called Who Cares, which
Yes.
you can watch on YouTube and,
Yes.
and Apple as well, I believe. And
Brilliant,
a big
yeah.
premiere of it in Los Angeles. And it's Emma Stone is starring
Yes.
in it, and Paul is acting in it. And
I know.
and not since the Beatles films has he done that. He must have had the opportunity. So
That's right,
it's
yeah,
great
that's
to see him
his
acting.
side to
He
do it,
plays
yeah.
he plays a hypnotherapist, which
That's
is
right,
really
I know,
interesting.
I've seen
Interesting
it,
role.
it's fabulous.
And him and Emma Stone, who's so great. You
Yeah.
know, they're really good together.
Yeah.
And then basically they go into this hypnotic sort of fantasy world, and then they start dancing, and then I realise this is something else Paul has never done: dancing.
Dancing,
You
yeah.
know, so it was.
A little tiny bit on Your Mother Should Know, but not really.
I wouldn't say
yeah.
he's ready for Dancing with the Stars with the best will in the world, but I
But
don't
then
know.
neither are
But
you
it
and
was
I.
neither are
Who
you
are
and
we
I.
to
You know,
criticise?
I've got
Yeah.
3 left feet. I don't know about
Oh.
you, but no, it was great to see with all the things that he's done.
Yes.
And there's an important message about Who Cares, because it's got an anti-bullying message to
Yes,
it, and
that's right.
it shows people that they're not alone. And I thought it was great. It's always great when celebrities use their platform for good to send a message like that. And with Paul McCartney and Emma Stone, you've got two generations of showbiz titans coming together, united by this message. So I thought Who Cares was great.
Yeah, good. So if you haven't seen it, tune in and find it. So now what's this that I hear about a new task you've just taken on, a President of Development and Acquisition?
That's a fancy title, isn't it?
Just, would you like to acquire me?
I'm not sure I can afford you, Angie, but
I'm her agent, and she goes for 17 and 6 a day in old money.
Old money. Yeah.
I now work at Big Screen, which is a film company, and we're a community of storytellers and directors, writers, and artists who work together to take material and just make it the best films it can be. You know,
Right.
we've recently worked on films with the likes of Rami Malek and Bruce Willis, and got a huge slate of exciting films coming ahead. And it's something really sort of new for me, because in my work as a broadcaster and journalist, I've dealt obviously with mass entertainment. You know, and so now what I'm doing is I'm looking at scripts, I'm looking at existing projects, and I'm trying to figure out what would work around the world, using my sort of sense of what the mainstream audience likes. But rather than doing this with news stories or entertainment, I'm doing it with movie scripts. And so at Big Screen, we're developing a whole bunch of entertaining stories. So I'm very excited about all that's to come there.
Well, don't forget your old mates over here when you need music and scoring for all them films.
Yes.
Nice plug, thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, we're shameless.
What a pro.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed, when it comes to. So,
I've got into the film business now, so
good.
it's very
Great.
exciting.
Great.
Yeah.
So, do you have couch to audition people?
Well, that would be massively inappropriate, as you know. The casting couch, has been thrown in the dustbin all around Hollywood.
Yeah.
Although tourists, when they go to the Hollywood and Highland complex, they walk through that shopping mall, and the best view you can get at the Hollywood sign is in front of a couch, and that does represent the casting couch. So it's still there. And it's this white couch there in the centre of LA's biggest shopping mall. No, not red, and that's that. So I mean, you make a serious point. Hollywood, has so changed for the better over the last 2 years. Thank goodness is right. We were talking about time travelling before, and what up and coming actors and actresses have had to put up with the past is just unthinkable. And now it's wonderfully getting to be a much safer environment.
Hopefully,
and Hollywood has a zero tolerance policy.
Still a way to go.
Still a way to go, but some
least,
encouraging steps in the right direction.
That's
I think,
right. So wonderful. So what about your Tuesday night things?
Well, you can find me every Tuesday night hosting a wonderful thing called Brits in LA Pub Quiz, which is being described as the best free night out in Los Angeles. Yeah. And this is at the new Cat and Fiddle on Highland Avenue. And we have so much fun at that. Yes. Because I write all the questions myself, and
so you know all the answers.
Well, I've just, like Homer Simpson said, there's no room in my head for important information because all this trivia fills it up. So question one last week was like, what animal cannot fart? And the answer is clam. You did that quite right,
poor little things. They don't have that pleasure.
And then question two is, what is a cockchafer?
I don't even want to know the answer.
It's a beetle. So there you go. Yes. B-E-E-T-L-E.
We found the fifth beetle.
Of course we have. So it's not the what's the capital of Iceland. It's not boring like that. And we have a sort of we have a Cat and Fiddle's Got Talent contest as well, because people can sing or play the spoons or whatever. So
I love
the spoon. So as a host myself, who does hosts lots of live shows and does lots of TV stuff, it's kind of like training for me, and it just makes me a bit more comfortable in the live environment to do this live trivia show every Tuesday night.
Have you ever done improv, like Lemming style?
Yes, I have done improv. It was
scary.
It was scary, but it was much easier for me than stand-up comedy. I
really?
found. Yeah. The sort of set-up punch.